everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today, as you can see by the title, I will be ranking Gachiakuta characters. It was so hard for me to say the name of the anime, I'm not gonna lie. I looked up like 4 different pronunciation videos of it. Some people were saying Gachiakuta, some people were saying Gachiakuta. The name is in the title. I know I've said it wrong multiple times. I've literally tried, and I forget it every single time I start filming. Let's get started. So we have 4 levels of the tier list, and yes, I have my little notebook here. I think these notebooks are so cute. I got it from like a dollar store or something like that. Ooh, ignore my nails. But I got it from a dollar store or something like that, and I think these are like the cutest, tiniest little notebooks. We have 4 levels here. We have the A tier, which is the spear. We have the B tier, which is the slums. We have the C tier, which is the polluted zones, and we have the D tier, which is the ground level. I think these 4 tiers are good because even though Spirit really shouldn't be the top, because we see just how bad every single level, regardless of if you're in the ground or if you're in the Spirit, it's still terrible. But something about not having to fight trash beasts and having to fight regular human beasts, you know, something about not having to smell trash or have to put a face mask on to breathe, something about that, it speaks to me, you know what I'm saying? It's a harmony, it's a balance. In no particular order, I really don't want to start with the main 4 because I feel like it's so easy. Like, all of the main 4 are really likable, so it's hard for me to really rank them into different tiers. Let's start with Rudo. Rudo's the main character, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he has to go to the spear just because he really wants to go to the spear anyway. But, you know, I feel like when I saw Rudo for the first time, I was like, yes. So me, hint, hint, wink, wink, I love an anti-hero, and I feel like Rudo really is an anti-hero, because if you think about it, he's not really fighting for, I mean, he kind of is, like, by defeating the trash beast and by going against the raiders and stuff like that. He is fighting for the cleaners, but he still has his own personal agenda. So I wouldn't necessarily think of him as like a hero. I would think of him more as like almost an anti-hero a little bit. I like that he's not 100% like the good, you know, like usually in anime, they're like these perfect beings. Like, they have no wrong thoughts, you know, they have no violent thoughts, you know, they try to get along with everyone and stuff like that. Rudo just, he's very imperfect, and I love it because he is imperfect. And I'll dissect more into Rudo when I do like a full review of the anime and everything like that. But I'm gonna say Rudo is A tier. A tier, of course. But so I literally have her listed as Shoes Girl because she was the girl with the shoes. Obviously, when Amo first started, I was just like, you know, because she obviously tried to kill them, but it's fair, I guess, when you're in her situation. Like, I'm sure when people come to her, they often just use her for what they can get out of her. Because to me, after hearing her backstory and how deeply depressing and sad everything was about it, and seeing how she still like basically lived in isolation for so long, you know what I'm saying? I have too much empathy, you know. I can't rank her as anything less. I feel like she was A tier. We're gonna speed run this. Engine, come on, be for real. Like, I feel like I'm giving too many A tiers in a row, but this is Engine we're talking about. Like, Engine, he's a great leader, great everything. I feel like he's just, honestly, he might be probably my favorite character of the entire anime. You know, usually for me, I'm very biased. I usually stick with like the original character, the main character. Engine has proven to be my favorite character so far. So yeah, he's definitely going on the A tier, no discussion. Zanka. Okay. Hear me out. So this is gonna be a hot take. Zanka, while he is hilarious and other stuff like that, I feel like, and I literally put him as, I said when I was watching the anime, I was like, Zanka is literally the strongest, weakest character that there is. The fact that he's training him and he like lacks I'm not okay, but anyway, as I was saying, the fact that he's training him to be strong, this is why I say he's the strongest weak character, because I don't feel like he's weak necessarily, but if we put him in terms of everybody else in the cleaners, I feel like he's one of the lower levels of strength. Unfortunately, that makes him to be the strongest weak character of the series. I was gonna give him a B tier. It's not like personality wise, I was gonna give him a B tier overall just because of like his strength and his ability, but after the way he didn't blame Rimlin for everything that happened and stuff like that, I can't give him anything less than an A tier. Just his like maturity and accountability, the way he said he was gonna get stronger and everything like that, I can appreciate growth. You know what I'm saying? I can appreciate growth because after every time I see him fight, he always end up getting knocked out by the same person. It's just like, that's why I was gonna put him originally in the slums, the B tier, but I said, you know what? Let me give him some grace. I'm gonna put him in the A tier. I'm putting him in the A tier. And of course, Rio's going to the A tier automatically. When I had her name on here, I was just like, oh, Rio's of course going to the A tier. Be for real. Where else would she go? Chiwa. Now we're getting into other tier levels of stuff. Obviously, I'm putting her on the ground. But I really don't want to put, okay, I'm not going to put her on the ground because I really don't want to do that because she's literally just a baby. Literally, when I watch these shows and these characters are all like super young, they're like 10 or 11 old, I'm like, those are babies. So I can't give her a ground because it's just like, although she did betray him in a way, it's like I can't, as much as I want to give her ground, I can't, just because it's just like, it's a really messed up situation to be in regardless, and for her to be able to handle that and process that when it happens so fast, I can't give her ground for that. But I can give her, it's between B and C. I really want to kind of give her the polluted zones because I feel like it did have such a negative impact on Ruto. She already lives in the slums, so I don't want to give her B tier. I'm gonna have to get her a C tier just because of the impact that she left on Naruto. Like, even though she did not have the time to process this, like, I still feel like things could have been handled a bit differently. And I don't feel like it was Ruto or her fault. I just feel like the situation in general, when you already have so many outside external factors that are saying he did this, you know what I'm saying? Who are you? It's like, you would think that with all their years of friendship, she would believe him. But because of all the evidence, it looked bad. Like, it looked real bad, real terrible. So I'm in between. I'm in between with her, but she's definitely getting the polluted zone. She's definitely getting a C. Okay, Jabber is next. Jabber, by his name, I put the GOAT. Because to me, Jabber is the GOAT. You know, the way he beat Zonka, I thought, in my mind, I kept seeing clips on TikTok of Zonka, and I thought Zonka died. So I was just like, oh, like, he literally killed Zonka. But yeah, he about did. He literally about did. Easily the most entertaining character. I love the rap, you know, I love the song, I love the dance, you know. I feel like he didn't have to do that, you know. You know, some people don't just dance on people after they beat them up. He didn't have to do that. But the fact that he chose to, you know what I'm saying? And I like the hair that he had as well. I love the locks. He's getting an A tier for me. He's going to the spear. Right up to the spear. Oh, Zodal. For all the people that don't remember, Zodal is like the leader of the Raiders. He's like the main villain, which is very disappointing. I'm gonna say this, and this is becoming more of a like the series kind of thing, and I'll do a separate video on how I feel about the series. But to me, Zodal is very like, I'm not putting him here just because he's a villain. Zodal was just real boring. You know what I'm saying? Usually the villains are just more interesting, and because he's so deadpan, it's like he lacks any type of depth to him, and it's just like, I've seen other villains and they've never been this dry before, so I gotta give him the ground. He's never going to the spear. He's going right to the ground because Zodal was just terrible. It was just boring to watch. I'm sorry. For him to be the main villain of season 1, I wish he had more of an impact. Because it's just like, then when he didn't get his missions accomplished, or he said he did get his missions accomplished when the cowboy asked or whatever, I'm just like, but did you? Did you? He wasn't likable, he wasn't entertaining, and he wasn't that smart. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have it. He didn't have it all together. I love an unorganized king, but, you know, he needs to get his work together. Corvus. When I first saw Corvus, I was just like, his eyes are sick. I was like, his hairstyle is sick. To me, he's going to the spear. He just feels so, like, just in the way he acts, I feel like he's not slow. Not in that, please don't take this out of context. He's not slow in that type of way. I just mean his movements. Like, the way he's very calm. He's very, like, not even cautious, but I think he kind of scares me just a little. Just a little bit. You know, when you look at someone in the show or you look at someone in person, you're just like, ooh, I would never want to get on their bad side. Because just the way he moves and the way he reacts to things, I'm just like, I know he's strong. You know, I know he's strong. It's not just because he's the leader, but when you just look at his posture, I'm just like, he feels like he's a true, total, like, calm, respectable crash out. To me, he reminds me the most of, what's the leader dude in Demon Slayers? He reminds me of him. Like, and that dude, he was literally on his deathbed when Muzan came in and tried to take him out. He has that kind of strength to me. Spirit to me, obviously. Simu, I think is her name. Obviously. This was so easy. She's obviously going to A tier. She holds down the fort. You know, at some point, she is the leader. You know, Corvus may be the actual official leader. But to me, Simu was the leader. Simu was like, you saw her from the beginning to when you first got to the place to the end. I think her ability is also super strong as well. And the fact that she was fighting and doing all the other stuff. And she was still a secretary. She was at her desk sitting cute and pretty. She's obviously going to the spear. Okay, Alice. Alice, I literally wrote her as old, crazy. Wrote her as older, crazy lady doctor. So I think, okay, so it's easy to say I would rate her as the spear if just watching off her, you know what I'm saying? But I can't give everybody a spear. You know, everybody can't go. When I think about her yelling and stuff like that, because she be yelling a lot. The screaming, I think she would scare me in real life. I think she would. Not lots can scare me these days, but she would probably scare me. So just for that, I'm going to give her the slums. Because she's still in the spear, she's just not in the good part of the spear. She's in the slums. So I'll give her the slums. B tier, B tier. Who else we got? We got like a few left. So Bro is the leader of the baby team. Y'all gonna hate me for this, but in anime scenes, like especially if it's a fighting scene, I will watch the fighting scene. But if it's for a character I don't really be watching like that, I will skip the fighting scene. And I feel like it was good that I did skip the fighting scene with Bro and the baby and like the cowboy man that I don't know his name. I think it's very good that I skipped it because they didn't fight anyway. So there was just a whole bunch of talking. I think I don't even think they fought because every single person that the cleaners fought ended up coming back to life. So I don't know. I don't know what the point was of the whole arc. So I don't have much of an opinion on him. You know, so we're gonna put him in the slums. So Deer is the little baby that has the pacifier. Deer, I don't know what ability he has yet. But he's a baby, so he's going to the spear. Very much like the babies all go. The babies all go, except for the girl that betrayed it, except for Chua. Every other baby can go, including Gita. Gita, yeah, the dragon and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool because I didn't know what she could do. And I thought it was just, you know, when kids are young and they be having those little like suits and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, she just must like it. No, I didn't know she was going to turn into a dragon. Didn't know that at all. So yeah, they're both going to A tier. Tamsi is web dude, so I call him web dude because he caught them all in that web that one time. Tamsi to me, I literally just rated everyone A tier. If this is a different anime, everybody would have got different tiers. Like just because you're the main cast, you wouldn't have gotten a good tier. But I'm putting both of them. Big man, he sometimes he be loud. He be loud sometimes, but I think Tamsi, web dude, they can both go in A tier. They can both go in A tier. I think that's all I have. I didn't have that much on the supporters. I'm not even gonna lie because I didn't remember them. I feel like they were in there, but they weren't in there. You know, there was like one episode, it was like, I think it was episode 5 or 6 where they saved Rudo, or Rudo saved them. I think they both saved each other or something. Yeah, I don't have much info on the supporters, but if I had to, you know, I feel like they were cool. Don't remember much. They'll go on an A tier. In this, to recap, everybody pretty much went in the A tier. That was my rating of the characters. That was my tier list of the characters in Gachiakuta in the anime. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe. That helps me a lot, and I'll see you all later.